guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Gina and I make videos about houseplants and houseplant related content. And I make videos every week, sometimes twice a week. And thank you so much for joining me here today. So in today's video, we're looking at some February favorites. So these are plants or planty things that stood out the most to me during the month of February. So for this month, I think it's all plants. Yeah, all plants. And I think there's 5. I think I have 5 plants. So some of those plants I brought in the room here with me, but there's 2 that they're not easily brought into this room, so we're going to go to those. So I think the first ones we're going to look at are the ones in the other room. So, and then we'll save the ones, the smaller plants for when we're done there. So let's head out. All right, so here we go. Look at the time. It's still morning. It's not even 9:30 yet. We're headed out. And we're walking to, first stop will be so you guys don't know which plant it is, but one of these plants is on my favorites list. And actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably be able to guess which one it is because I have talked about it on there recently. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm at the Pink Trellis on Instagram, so check it out for more plant content. All right, so let's head over to my favorite. One of my favorites for the month of February. And that would be this lipstick plant, this Aschenanthus Thai pink lipstick plant. And you can probably figure out why it is on my favorites list for the month. All right, so I think I got the camera set up at a good angle where we can clearly see this plant without backlighting issues. And so this is my Thai pink lipstick plant. And you can probably guess why it is on my February favorites list, because it's blooming. And this is its first time blooming for me. So this blooming process actually took quite a bit of time. I forget what month I first noticed the buds coming out, but it took I think it took 2 months from the time I noticed them until we have actual little flowers. And so this plant, I'm really new to this plant. It's the first time in my whole life I've had a lipstick plant, and they are, I don't know, I feel uneasy with this plant. I don't feel like I quite know what it needs. I mean, even though it's blooming, I just feel unsure about this plant. So the reason for my uncertain feeling for this plant is because it does drop leaves for me. And I think it's probably, I think it's a watering thing, or it could be, it's winter, and it's interesting about this plant because you see all of the growth is mostly on this side facing away from the windows. And on this side, there's not a lot. It's like it's even actually trying to move away from the windows here, which is really odd. So I don't know if this spot, this is a northwest facing window. I'm not sure if maybe it's too bright for it. Maybe it doesn't want the sun it gets in the afternoon. I would say maybe it's too cold for it in the winter time here, but it started doing this moving away from the window during the summertime, so I know it's not that. I tend to believe it's more of the light exposure. I think it likes to get a little sun, but I think maybe it's a little too much over here. But this is where I want it. I want to keep it in this spot. So I don't know, we're gonna stick with it and see what happens. So the leaf dropping, I think, is a result of inconsistent watering. And I don't think it's I'm not remembering to water it, because I do. I think it's this pot. And I love this pot, but it's like a thick cement pot. And so unlike terracotta, this thick cement here, it doesn't like wick out the moisture like terracotta does. And sometimes I have to water it weekly, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to go like every 2 weeks. It's like it's really inconsistent. So I don't know, maybe that's the issue. But I love this pot, and I really don't want to change it out of that pot. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna stick with it and see what happens. But for the most part, I would say this is a pretty happy plant. And it's just gorgeous. All right, so that's number 1 on my favorites, my February favorites list. And the next one, we're gonna move over to the next room over here. But first I'm gonna take you in for a close-up look of this one. All right, so the next one is in my dining room, and we're gonna head over there. We are looking at it. You don't know which one it is, but I do. And well, it's in the center of the frame here. And this is my Hoya pubicalis. And it is growing just crazy right now. So its amazing growth right now is the reason why I'm just so infatuated with this plant right now. And it literally, I think it just like in the month of February, it just exploded with growth. Or at least that's when I noticed it. Can you see, look at all these vines. Now, my cat likes to go up here and sit up here and like bat at these vines and play with them. She loves it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that this summer, but this plant is this is a rescue plant actually. So I found this plant on Facebook Marketplace, and when I got it, it was in pretty poor condition. It was pretty bare with leaves, but it has this beautiful splash, which I don't know if it's showing up on the camera very easily, but it has really splashy leaves and really big splashy leaves. So I think I bought it for $20, which I thought was a good price at the time. And so I brought it home, and I don't know, a few weeks later, I noticed it had mealybugs. So this plant was infested with mealybugs, but I took it outside and I took the garden hose to it, and I just sprayed the heck out of this plant, and I took away all the soil, and I put it in a brand new pot, brand new soil, and I sprayed it with some bug spray, and we're all clear of mealybugs now, so that's good. And it is just so happy. And this plant just makes me so happy. And this is a southwest facing window. It loves this window, obviously. It's even growing, you won't be able to see because of the backlighting, but it is growing into the window behind the blinds, and it's got a bunch of leaves back there. So this pretty much, I mean, I could get it down if I wanted to, but this is pretty much gonna have to just stay here. It's not easy to take down. So this is my Hoya pubicalis, and it's on my February favorites list. All right, so we're back here in my office, and the rest of these are just small plants that I can easily show you guys. So first up, this is So this is a Tradescantia. I actually had to look up the name of it because I couldn't remember the name. I mean, I know it's a Tradescantia, but I couldn't remember the type, what type this is. And this is called Velvet Hill. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but this plant is so fuzzy. It's just amazing how fuzzy it is. It's so cool. So if you've watched my videos enough, you probably know that I love this sort of crazy, out of control, wacky growth. So when I first got this, these two here were like standing up like this one, just straight up and shorter. They're probably only this tall. So this plant has grown quite a bit, as you can see. Like Tradescantias, they're just fast growers. And so speaking of this crazy growth, so if you saw when I was at the Hoya pubicalis, I have my Ripsalis plants were behind me. They have similar crazy growth. I have my, let me grab it real quick, my Hoya Chroniana, which has a similar, just kind of crazy growth. I just love this sort of growth pattern. I just love it. And, you know, this is bare on top here, but I don't want to cut this because then I'm going to lose this craziness to fill it in. So I'm sure eventually I will propagate this and stick it back in here to get more craziness like this. But right now I am just content with this and I just love it. All those fuzzy, see all those fuzzy leaves? Velvet Hill. And I got this on Etsy from, I think it was from the Green Escape, which I talked about in my last video with my African violets. It's a great place to buy plants. So Tradescantia Velvet Hill is on my February favorites list. So this next one I'm absolutely loving right now. It's on my February favorites list. It's a succulent and it is this. Look at how cute that is. So this is a Graptopetalum Amethystinum. And these are my favorite type of succulents. But so this is beautiful, this beautiful purple. But this isn't even what makes this plant my favorite this month. It's its little baby right here. Look at that. Cute little baby. So I know I very rarely talk about my succulents. I have quite a collection of succulents. I love them. I just love them. When I was in California, most of my plant collection was made up of succulents. They just do so well out there. So of course I have quite a, I wouldn't say large, but I do have a pretty good number of succulents in my house plant collection here. I don't talk about them that much because every time I do a video on succulents, my video, you guys don't, I don't know if you guys don't like succulents or what, but you guys don't tend to watch those, so I don't talk about them very much. And I want to change that because I love succulents. I'm sure some of you out there do love the succulents and you do want to see them and hear about them. So I'm going to try and talk about them more. Not like all the time, but just more often. So as I said, this type is my favorite. I just love these plump leaves. They're just so plump and juicy, and I just love them. So this plant is actually, it's potted in terracotta, but it's so like awkwardly top heavy, but it's like fallen over, and this is just a tiny little terracotta pot it's in, and it wants to tip all the time. So I just dropped it right in this ceramic planter and it holds it perfectly for me. So eventually I will repot this one, but for now it's doing just fine. It's happy, I'm happy, and it's a favorite. So I have one last February favorite plant for you guys, and I'm ending it with the perfect plant because it's February. We had Valentine's Day this month. It's like the month of love, and it's when you think of Valentine's Day, you think of hearts, and this is a heart-leafed plant. And it is this Chroniana Super Silver. And look at these adorable little hearts. So cute. And this is just a propagation. Like the adult leaves don't look like that, but these little new leaves, they're just so cute. And they're so silvery. They're just like entirely silver hearts. So this, like I said, is just a propagation. Eventually this one will be for sale in my shop. And it's just so cute. I don't really have a lot to say about it. The little moss it's growing in is like coming back to life, which is pretty cool. But I've just been, when I water these during the month, I've been looking at those cute little leaves, and it stood out to me. So that's why this little heart beauty is on my February favorites list. So that's going to be it for this video, you guys. So stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to put these plants that I just showed you here back where they live, so you can see where exactly they live in my house. So don't click out, because I'm doing my outro. Stay till the end. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed seeing my February favorites. And if you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. And I'd love for you to be a part of this community. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.